I'm doing great. Thanks so much for joining us again.
Yeah, of course.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations on being the runner-up for The Voice Season 9. Second place ain't too bad, girl. Talk about it.
It was really exciting. I never imagined to make it that far, ever. So, especially in the top 4, that was such a win for me. I really didn't care what happened after that because it was like I never imagined I would make it that far. So being there totally felt like a win. Mm-hmm. And then being runner-up was just phenomenal. I just never, ever imagined it.
You know, it's actually most second-place winners, and in some cases third-place winners, do better as far as record sales and music careers as the champions do. So it's definitely, coming in second is not so bad at all, history says.
Well, I'm excited. I think that I'm excited for what the future holds. I definitely just think it's just the beginning, and I'm ready to get to working hard and figure out what's next.
So let's talk about that. I'm guessing you're going to take a little time off for the holidays before you get cracking in the studio. Is that fair to say, or are you going to get right in there right away?
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely need to have a little bit of a breather, and the holidays are a perfect time to just kind of relax and be with my family. I've missed them so much, and I've missed my friends so much, so I'm thankful that it's Christmas time so that I can really just, take a deep breath and try to recoup after being so busy. So, yeah, I'm excited for that, but definitely after the holidays I'm going to get to work, and the stinky thing is that I'm only 17, so I will be going back to school next semester. But I know that I'll probably be in and out, because hopefully I'll stay busy. I'd rather be busy than not busy.
Oh, absolutely. Now, how do you think you'll do transitioning from being on, national TV, in fact, globally? I mean, The Voice is showed all over the world, and transitioning going back to school, and because people certainly will look at you differently now, from previously.
It's been kind of crazy. I didn't expect it to be so. I guess I didn't expect people to recognize me or notice me the way they do. I went to a basketball game last night, and for my school, my high school, just because I wanted to do something normal, I didn't think it would be a big deal, and it was a really big deal. My community, I've been all over everything, and I think everyone's told me that, every single time the news comes on, they're saying something about me. So everyone in the community knows who I am, and when I got there, everyone started freaking out, and they announced me being there over the intercom.
Oh, that's great.
And I didn't get to watch the basketball game, but it was kind of cool to be able to thank people in person for their support and for voting for me and stuff like that. It was kind of neat. Yeah,
and I'm guessing overall the reception was great going back to Knoxville, right? You're from Knoxville, correct?
Yes, it's been amazing. They've been so supportive of me, and I've gotten so many letters and posters, and people decorated my house for me. And when I got home, it's been overwhelming. It's been awesome.
That's awesome. All right, so talk a little bit about the highlights. I mean, I'm sure meeting Dolly Parton was one of them. Can you touch on some of the highlights of the show throughout the season?
Definitely. It started getting really, really fun towards when live started. I think that's when everything started. It was so much fun before, but then it just got even more exciting. Being able to record a song with Blake was so incredible. It really blows me away and shocks me when I think that I actually made a record with Blake Shelton. It's crazy to think about. So that was really fun. And then, of course, like you said, meeting Dolly Parton, that's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and I never imagined I would ever get the chance to meet her. And she was so kind when she was talking to us, and she gave us so much information and tried to help us in any way she can and answered questions and talked about writing. And I asked her what she did whenever she got homesick, and she said that she just pours that into her music. And that's such a good thing to know. A way to like cope with that is just writing it down and just like expressing it through music. And so it was awesome being able to hear her talk about that. And then singing with Ricky Skaggs was probably one of the coolest moments of my life. I've been listening to his music since I was in a car seat, and I am such a huge fan of his. So being able to shake his hand and share the stage with him was just phenomenal.
Absolutely. Not to mention you sang one of Dolly Parton's songs, so I'm sure that. What about that? What about pressure? Was there any more pressure on you, singing the Legend song like that?
When me and Blake talked about that song, I didn't know that she was coming.
Oh, wow.
And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'd love to sing a Dolly song. And I was already kind of nervous because obviously no one can do Dolly like Dolly does Dolly, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was worried about it, but I was just like, it'll be fine. I'll just make it my own, and hopefully I will get a good response from it. And then I was that Tuesday night, I was the first one to be called that America, saved. So Blake didn't announce that Dolly was going to be there until later in the show, and I wasn't in the building when he announced it. So when I came back in, Barrett looked at me and was like, Emily, did you hear Dolly's going to be here next week? And at first I was like, I was so excited, so I freaked out, and then it hit me that I was singing a Dolly song that week, and I was like, oh shoot. I was like, I can't do this. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. And Barrett was like, you'll be fine. But I was freaking out. And there's not enough pressure to sing a Dolly song. The thought of her being there just adds so much more to it. But I think it was the most fun that I've ever had performing was when I did that song. And so I'm so thankful that I ended up going through with it and singing it.
As you was talking just now, I was thinking about the pressure that the singers go through on this show. I mean, it really must prepare you guys for playing in front of big crowds. I mean, because think about it. First off, the blinds. You got to get up there and sing to chairs, and there's legends on the other side of those chairs, and you got the audience and then millions of people watching. Then the live show. Like Jordan Smith told me, if you screw up on a live show, that's on YouTube forever. So there's pressure there. So it really prepares you, doesn't it? It really prepares you.
It does, and I've learned so much. I've told so many people this. I've learned so much from the show, not only with my voice, not only vocally, but just handling myself and handling the nerves. And I think that's been one of the most valuable parts of the show because if I had never gone through it, it would have probably taken me so much longer to learn how to cope with the nerves and with everything that you have to go through and conquer on this show.
Yeah, no doubt. I got two more questions for you. Then, if you don't mind, I have a few fan questions from Twitter and Facebook for you.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about record deals. I know it's early; it's just been a few days. But have you had any opportunities? Any record companies touch base with you at all yet?
Nothing has happened yet. I think that with the holidays and with the show just ending, that nothing's really happening yet. But I'm staying positive, and I think that hopefully something's going to happen, and the future is going to be awesome, and I'm really looking forward to whatever happens.
Yeah, I don't think you have much to worry about there. I think someone's going to reach out to you. And you'll get that record deal. And what about working with Blake in the future? Do you see that happening?
Me and Blake have become so close over the course of this show, and we've really become great friends. And I'm really excited about what the future holds with him, and with his help, I know that we will always be close, and that we've developed such a strong relationship. And I'm super excited to see what happens with him too. I think it'll be awesome.
Yep, and that's why I'm relatively sure with your talent, and you've proven yourself on the show, plus with Blake, I think a record deal somewhere is certainly going to happen. Do you have a favorite performance on the show, of all the songs you sang?
My favorite was definitely 9 to 5. I think that I had the most fun that I've ever had performing when I did that song, and I just think that I've never had the chance to really like let go of all my insecurities and just come out of my shell and go for something. And when I sang that song, like I said, I was so nervous, but I wanted it to be a fun performance. So right before I sang it, I was like, you know what? If I'm dancing around this stage like an idiot, then I'll just do it, but at least I'll be having fun. So I just threw all caution to the wind and just went for it, and it was the most fun I think I've ever had performing.
That's fantastic. Okay, I had a lot of fan questions, so I know I couldn't get to all of them because I know time's probably an issue with your schedule, but I did pick 3 or 4, so can we do that real quick?
Yeah.
All right, first question's from Jenna D. And Jenna wants to know, will you stick to your bluegrass roots in your upcoming performances? That's how you won me over.
Definitely, I will stick to my bluegrass roots. I think that is what totally makes me who I am, and it's a part of who I am, and it's a part of, I've grown up in East Tennessee, and I think that it's really shaped the artist that I am, because I've been surrounded by that mountain music and that bluegrass music, and I honestly can't listen to that kind of music without a smile on my face, and so I know that that's the kind of music that I want to make for the rest of my life, so I know that I'll stick to that.
Good stuff. All right, this next question, we kind of touched on it, but I'll ask it because maybe something else you want to build on it. And this is from Elizabeth, and she wants to know, what are Emily Ann's plans for furthering her singing career?
Moving forward, I want to continue writing, and I want to get together a bunch of stuff that's a true representation of who I am as an artist, and I think that's so important because after this show, I think it's important to put out music that is mine, and then for people to hear what I have to say, and so I think that's definitely the next step. It's just to continue writing and performing as much as I can, and just keep my feet moving.
Okay, and 2 more. Well, actually, the third one's got a couple questions, but they're really good, so I picked that one. This question is from Devon Love, and he wants to know, can you ask Emily what the most important key to her success was on the show?
When I started the show, I wasn't too confident, and I kind of compared myself to everyone else, and then I kind of made the realization that I am who I am for a reason, and that I sing the way I sing for a reason, and I need to be okay with that. And I think that's when everything kind of settled into place, is when I accepted exactly who the Lord made me to be, and I ran with it, and I just became confident in myself. And that's such a hard thing to overcome and to get to, but once I got there and I was just comfortable and content with who I was able to really, like I said, with 9 to 5, just throw all caution to the wind and give my all out there. And I think that's what people respond to the most, is when people truly lay their heart out on the stage for other people to see.
I do too. I agree with that. Okay, and this last person, she asked a couple questions in here, but they're really good ones. And the name is Char. And Char wants to know, the first question was, which song was most difficult for you to sing?
Definitely 9 to 5. I honestly felt like I was rapping almost. It's so fast, and it goes so high, and you have to stay on top of it. I had to work really hard on my breathing and on the breath support that I had, and because I was running around the stage and singing the song. And I remember one night standing in the iTunes booth doing it, and after I got done with one pass of the song, I was sounded like I had just run a marathon or something.
Wow.
And all the guys who were helping me were like, "You're gonna have to find a way to control your breathing, because you can't be doing that on stage. You'll pass out."
Wow.
So that one was definitely hard. That was the hardest one I did, but it ended up being the most fun, so it was good. Cool.
All right, this next question I actually was going to ask you myself, because it's a good one, and the question and the viewer or the listener also asked this question, and we both noticed that you had some tears right before the winner was announced, and I noticed that too. Can you share with us what was going through your mind at that very second?
Honestly, the last two Tuesdays that on the show, before the Final Four was announced and then before the winner was announced, they were just really emotional nights for me. And I think Tuesdays are just hard. And I remember just, it was a mix of, I wasn't really scared, and it wasn't cheers because I was afraid of not winning or anything like that. It's just an emotional situation for me because, I don't know, I was up on that stage, and I knew it was the last time I was up on that stage, and it was kind of weird. It was like I was having to let go of everything, and because it was just emotional, and I don't think people understand truly how nerve-wracking it is.
Oh man,
standing up there with the crowd screaming. They dim the lights, they turn on this crazy, scary music, and you're just standing there. It's terrifying.
Wow.
So, I just had tons of emotions, running through my head, and I think I couldn't help it. But I was so happy for Jordan, and he deserved it, and I wanted it for him. So I'm so glad that he won. I'm
glad you brought Jordan up. What a beautiful human being. What a great guy. And I'm happy
He's so incredible.
Yeah. Talk about Jordan Smith a little bit, if you would, and then I'll ask this last part of the question.
Okay. So Jordan has become so close to me. He's like family now, and his family is so close to me. His parents are precious, and they live just an hour and a half away from us. So I know that we'll stay in touch, and I'm so excited for that. But there's never a dull moment when you're around Jordan. He's so kind, and he's so funny, and he's just a real joy to be around. And he has something so special, and he deserves this win. He really did, and I'm so happy that he got it, because what he has shouldn't be it shouldn't be ignored. Everyone should appreciate it because it is so special, and he's such a special guy. It's not only his voice, but it's his whole personality and his demeanor. It's just so joyful, and it's so special, and I think that the world needs someone like him, and I'm just glad that he got this win.
Very well said. I think his performance when he sang the Queen song, Somebody to Love, might go down as one of the greatest live performances on The Voice history. I don't think it's crazy to say that.
Definitely. Definitely. It was phenomenal. I still watch it over and over on YouTube. It's amazing.
Yep, I've watched it 15 times, I think, easily. It's great.
I know.
It's unbelievable. All right, just the last question back to Char. She wanted to know if you could sing a duet with anyone, who would it be and why?
I would love to sing with Vince Gill. I think that he has such an amazing voice, and I've only been able to go to a show at the Grand Ole Opry one time, and when I went, I got to hear Vince Gill, and he just sat down with his guitar and sang and played "Threaten Me with Heaven," one of his songs, and the entire auditorium was just silent.
Oh, wow.
Just listening to him sing, and it was so amazing. And I just think that his voice is phenomenal. And I would just love to meet him, and he seems like such a great guy. I would love to meet him and sing with him. I think it would be really cool.
Awesome. Well, look, I appreciate you doing this. Before I let you go, I want to give you an opportunity to share with the listeners out there where they can find you on Twitter, websites, anything else you want plugged in this podcast. Go for it, girl.
Okay, so y'all can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. The handle is the same. It's EmilyAnn_music. And then Twitter, you'll get the most recent updates, and you'll know everything that's going on Twitter. And then Instagram is fine. I love Instagram, so you can follow me on there. And then Facebook has a lot of information, too. It's Emily Ann Roberts Music. And I think that's it.
There it is, folks. Emily Ann Roberts, the Season 9 of The Voice runner-up. Thank you so much. We want to stay in touch with you as you go forward, and best of luck, okay, kiddo?
Okay, thank you so much for having me.